Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. Now today's video is one that took me a little while. I've filmed this video over about a week, but I've taken a lot of time off as well. The end of the year and the start of a new year is usually quite a big time for me. I'm a Capricorn, my birthday's on New Year's Eve, and I think birthdays are a time in your life where you get to reflect, you get to think, you get to process, and it's really hard being an intuitive empath and having your birthday on the last day of the year. It takes me a long time to process things and to be able to feel like I'm ready enough to channel energy for other people. So here I am, and I have a reading for 2025. We're asking Spirit for predictions for the year ahead, focusing on 2025. I will be looking at getting general themes for the year ahead. I will be getting advice on how you can tackle the year ahead. We'll be looking at your main challenge, your main opportunities, a lot of information right here on YouTube. But if you do need more information, there will be an extended reading as well. In your extended reading, I will have a look at the year month by month. I'll be breaking down the year January to December, focusing on these three aspects of your life. We'll have a look at your self-development journey, at your love life and your relationships, and we'll also have a look at your career and your finances. So we do look at those three things on YouTube as well, but in the extended readings, we get into it month by month. So overall, if you're watching YouTube, if you're watching the extended readings, you're going to have a lot of information from me about 2025. This is the second intro that I've filmed. Your first intro was with my old mic. This is my new mic. My old mic is busted, and unfortunately I didn't realize that when I filmed your first intro. So I'm going to include the part where I'm shuffling out the cards, but if the mic is annoying you, I will put in a photo of the cards as well, so that you can just select a card from the photo instead of the video. This mic issue did transfer into Group 1's reading, unfortunately. After I filmed Group 1's YouTube reading, I played it back and I was like, whoa, we can't have this. So for Group 1's extended reading onwards, the new mic will be there, but unfortunately the shuffling of the cards and Group 1's reading on YouTube will have the old mic and some of those old audio issues. Thankfully, moving forward, we won't have that issue. New mic, no issues, knock on wood. We'll see what happens. But that's all from me. I'm going to take you into the next segment of this reading, which is the pick a group portion. When you know which of these 4 groups you're feeling most drawn to, jump into the timestamps section in the description box or in the pinned comment, and you can select that timestamp to watch your reading. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And I hope this reading gives you all the information you need for 2025. Okay, so to pick a group, I'm going to be shuffling 4 cards that represent each of the 4 groups from this deck. I'll be pulling cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. I've had this deck for a while. If you've been following me for a few years, I'm pretty sure I've had this deck for at least 2, maybe 2.5 years now. I haven't used it a lot recently, which is why I thought it would be the perfect oracle deck for this reading. Without further ado, let's shuffle these cards. You can skip ahead with the timestamps if you don't want to see me shuffling cards. Spirit, please tune me into the collective energy of those who will be watching this reading. What card best represents the themes in Group 1's 2025? What card best represents? Group 1, you have Solitude coming out, also the number 13 in this deck. Group 2, please Spirit, what card best represents the themes in Group 2's? I'm just going to take the top card. We have Compass, which is the number 50 in this deck. Group 3, what card best represents Group 3's themes for 2025? We have Follow the Leader, which is the number 40 in this deck, and group 4, please Spirit. We're going to take slow and steady for group 4, which is the number 12 in this deck. So those are the 4 groups. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see them all a little bit better. I apologize for any glare. When you know which of these 4 groups you're feeling most drawn to, check the timestamps in the description box to select your group's reading. If you need more time, pause the video to deliberate and to use whatever weird, wild, and wonderful method works for you. If you prefer a more intuitive way of selecting your group, I do have a meditation clip that is guided by me, and it will play right after this clip, so stay tuned for that if you need that help. But as I said, when you know where to go, click the timestamps in the description box or the pinned comment and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi Group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you recognize this Solitude card or the number 13, then this is going to be your reading with me. In today's reading, we're asking Spirit all about the year 2025, and we're going to be getting key information about what you can expect in the year ahead. Just to recap, in case you did skip the intro, we're asking Spirit about your key theme for the year of 2025. We'll also be having a look at what your main opportunities, challenges, and advice will be for the year ahead, focusing on getting messages about your love life, your finances, and your self-development. In the extended reading, I'll be doing a month-by-month breakdown, getting key themes and key advice for each of the 12 months in 2025. Obviously, January has already begun, but there could still be key information there for this month. And the extended reading can be helpful to just get ahead of what you can expect. So see how you go. If the first part of your reading resonates, the extended could be helpful too, but we do need to start here in order to get there. So this card does have significance. This card tells us more about what your main theme will be for 2025. It also highlights key words that could be helpful. So I highly recommend you have something that you can take notes with, that you can journal, key phrases, key words that stand out, and make a little list of what doesn't resonate right now, because it may resonate at a later date. To open your reading, I do want to honor the creator of this deck, and I'm going to read from the guidebook just in case there's anything that I miss intuitively. I can see here with the card Solitude, the creator has written this beautiful little passage in quotation marks saying, "I am comfortable in my own skin as I detach to replenish my soul." This tells me that a lot of you will be spending most of this year focusing on yourself. Even though that doesn't mean you'll be completely isolated in the year ahead. The energy of your 2025 is about self. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, taking time to detach from other energies, to focus on your own energy. And it comes from a place of needing time alone. Even if some of you feel forced into this situation initially, you're going to realize that you need time alone. So upright, this card says meditation is required when you receive the solitude card as a sign. Empty your mind of superfluous thoughts. I've never read this guidebook and it shows because the pages are stuck together. And allow stillness to flow through your whole being. This is not an advantageous time to ask questions or push forward in any way. Rather, it's a period for a conscious retreat. What's called for now is to step back and take your focus off of your life and your troubles. You'll be surprised by how things sort themselves out once you've replenished your energy by means of a much needed rest and time out. Yeah, so the year ahead is calling for more breaks. It's calling for more time out, and it's also calling for you to focus on yourself. Even if challenging situations arise, which naturally they do, and we will talk about those in this reading on YouTube, you're still being called to detach and to almost take a step back from the situation before you consider resolving the conflict or the challenges. Don't be too quick to react is the key advice that's coming through. And don't be too quick to take accountability. This is interesting advice because it almost foreshadows that you may be in situations where other people are not taking enough accountability and are instead expecting you to step up for them and to do things for them. This is very much giving the analogy of put your own oxygen mask on first before you even think about helping others, especially if the plane is going down. So, with that main theme card here, let's get some more tarot to have a look at what this main theme means for you in the year ahead. Can we get any other hints, Spirit, about how this solitude theme relates to my group one's year ahead, their 2025 year? Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. We also have the Eight of Wands reversed. We have the Ten of Wands reversed. And we have Justice. At the back of the deck is the Nine of Wands. And I can see, let's just make sure everything is in frame. Nearly out of frame. I can see with, actually it needs to stay up here so it all fits. Where are we? Oh yeah, that's a bit better. All right. I can see with the Nine of Wands, this is very much the year to persevere for self. You're so close to completing personal goals in 2025 that you need to make sure you're keeping your focus, your energy, and your attention on self. The Nine of Wands is about working smarter, not harder, in order to complete your goals. You have to really think about how limited your capacity is. You don't have a lot of energy to give. So don't be giving it away freely to whoever screams the loudest. The Nine of Wands is about persevering. It's a card of stamina and endurance, and it reflects a long road that this group has been on. You haven't been going through the easiest of times, and 2025 is about you really pulling through for yourself to complete a challenging cycle, again for personal development. Now, this card does also talk about the importance of alone time in the year ahead. No matter how busy and demanding your life gets when it comes to priorities, responsibilities, relationships, it's really important that you prioritize time alone. That is how you find the answers and the solutions that you need. This time alone is pivotal. It's going to help ground you and direct you through wisdom, not reaction. That is where this card ties into solitude. This is a year for expansion. However, the expansion is focused on self. Therefore, a lot of your development may be internal. You, more than anybody else, will notice how far you've come. 2025 feels like it's about honoring the promises you made to yourself, Group 1. The commitments you made to yourself. And the goals you set for yourself. It's pretty much you versus you. And you've got to really eliminate background noise. I do see people expecting too much from you, testing your personal boundaries, noticing how successful you are and expecting you to do the same for them. But this isn't about them. This is about you. I've got some key predictions here with your cards. First of all, you have a lot of Wands cards. And your Wands cards are a reflection of your energy, your capacity. So this seems to be the biggest theme in 2025. Your energy and your capacity. Trying to find balance that works for you. You're running on very little capacity for most of 2025. And this could be because of issues you're aware of when it comes to your health. But it could also be because you need to really consider how to restructure your priorities throughout 2025 to suit the level of capacity that you have. Some of you have demanding people around you or energies around you who expect too much from you. The main shifts that I see happening, the main predictions I see happening in the year ahead, is a major change in responsibility. We're lightening our load here. We're shedding responsibility that we don't need. We're putting up boundaries and we're deflecting to make sure that we're not taking on other people's responsibilities and accountability. 10 of Wands reversed, strict boundaries being enforced. I can't do this for you anymore. I don't think this expectation is healthy of me. If I am to continue working for you, I need weekends off. Before we continue this relationship, I need to see this. These are make or break kind of circumstances where you are determining that if you don't make changes by putting healthy boundaries up, you're going to burn out. And so while it may feel like an ultimatum to whoever you're delivering this information to, it is also about being very self-aware so that you can stop something from blowing up or becoming worse. We're trying to find creative solutions, out-of-the-box solutions to ensure that we aren't burning bridges. And in some circumstances, for the 10 of Wands to be here reversed, it can't be avoided. Whatever bridges are burned in 2025, there were plenty of warning signs and opportunities to readjust before they burned. You're not missing out on anything. You're gaining more energy, more capacity. If any situation comes to an end, tell yourself, this is for my highest good. My angels are protecting me. The universe is paving a way for me to be able to enjoy the life that I lead by lightening my load for me. The key focus is balance. Your one major arcana card is talking about bringing more harmony to your contracts, to your partnerships, and to your overall commitments and responsibilities. This is about making sure that what you're putting in is being paid back equally. The amount of effort, the amount of resources, the amount of energy you're giving is worth your time. The Justice card is also about bringing balance and harmony to your overall lifestyle, as well as to the things that you are working towards in the long term. It is likely that there is a heavy focus on your relationships and your commitments in 2025. Now, with this focus comes certain obstacles that you are going to navigate in ways that offer long-term solutions. So I want you to know, with Justice being here, these kinds of relationships and commitments do feel like they were made for us, but they do come with little tests to prove that we are ready and to prove that we know what we deserve. So the way that it's being kind of interpreted to me is that a key relationship in your life, which feels romantic more than anything, but it could be somebody else who you're very lovingly connected to, who you spend a lot of your 2025 with. I'm identifying a mother-daughter relationship, or like a business partner relationship, someone who you have vested interest in. There's not just a familial connection, there's also like a lifestyle connection. You spend a lot of time with this person. You and this person will encounter little challenges to strengthen your partnership. These challenges aren't meant to destroy you, they're supposed to bring you closer. With the Justice card here, these challenges strengthen your relationship by highlighting opportunities for communication and opportunities to really show up for each other, an emphasis on each other. This balance only works through synergy. You two both have to be working on this together, and you will. This partnership gains a very, very strengthened, reinforced foundation. By the end of 2025, this commitment will feel lifetime, and it will have long-term results of success. For some of you, this relationship deepening, if it's romantic, could even look like things being taken to the next level and a more serious commitment being made. If this is a business partnership, take it if it applies. It's not going to apply to all of you, but if you have a business partner and you go through these challenges and you communicate and you support each other and you really pay attention to how your differences complement your ability to overcome challenges, your business will see more security, a strengthened foundation, and the partnership you have with this person will feel very, very strong. I'm seeing a lot of success in your relationships because of communication, because of clear willingness for both of you to put in and help out. Outside of relationships, this is also talking about commitments you made for yourself. I see you signing contracts in your favor in 2025. These contracts, if they have a monetary sort of influence or aspect, they're going to be in your favor. I also think that if you have any unresolved legal issues, they will be resolved this year and it will work out in your favor. You have to understand that in order for justice to work in your favor, it also has to be for the highest good of all involved. That doesn't mean that everybody gets the best possible outcome. It means that everybody gets what they deserve, what is owed to them. If this is a matter of the law, everybody gets what they deserve, what is owed to them. And that's how justice works in a legal way. Outside of those themes, over here, the Two of Pentacles is very similar to the Ten of Wands. The Two of Pentacles talks about a restructuring in your immediate environment as well as with your routine. I think that you guys may struggle to kind of get some things off the ground. This could be a year that has lots of little chapters that feel as though you've just sort of picked something up and then you've had to drop it and start something new. The Two of Pentacles reverse can feel like we just can't quite find our rhythm. It feels like just when we've gotten into the flow of something, we're being expected to shift our focus and to move and to pick up something new. This can also be in relation to your priorities. Throughout this year, you're going to have to restructure and reorganize your priorities. As you start the year, what is important to you will not be important to you in the middle of the year and by the end of the year. This could also be because of disruption to your lifestyle or to your home life. You may be moving a lot. There may be a lot of people staying with you, coming and going from your immediate environment. And it could even look like you changing jobs to accommodate for the lifestyle changes you want for yourself. If you are a sole trader or a self-employed worker, I see you picking up lots of little jobs and needing to really stay on top of your calendar, your routine, and your little paperwork. There is a message here about making sure that you're taking a step back every now and then to see how your actions are impacting your long-term results. It almost feels like you're being very easily distracted and that you're having a hard time making your efforts impact on a larger scale. It feels like these are small efforts for small scale projects instead of being able to tackle big things. So it does feel like we do have some loose ends throughout the year. And it does feel like it's hard for us to stay focused and to get into a rhythm or a routine that really works for us. But this could be to our benefit as well. When I see a Two of Pentacles reversed, it kind of means that as long as you're ticking off your responsibilities, which could be, paying your bills, taking care of what you need to in order to survive, you have a lot of room and flexibility then in your remaining resources, which include time and money, to be able to play around and have fun. I definitely feel as though there's a lot of short, quick shifts and a lot of quick changes in 2025. This is kind of being supported by the Eight of Wands, but the Eight of Wands brings back that focus on your energy, your passion, and your motivation. For the Eight of Wands to stay reversed, it may be difficult for you guys to stay motivated and to feel passionate about what it is that you're doing when it comes to work and when it comes to your long-term goals. I can see with the Eight of Wands reversed that we're lacking a sense of drive and purpose. And it does feel like even if we have inspiration, we're having a hard time executing that inspiration and translating our creative force or our creative energy into a way forward. So I would argue that 2025 is about you discovering outlets that work for you. Your creative energy needs an outlet. Your frustrations need an outlet. And your sense of purpose needs direction. You have ideas for the Eight of Wands to be here. You have inspiration, but you're struggling to execute it. And I think for the Eight of Wands to be showing up reversed, there's also a feeling here of not wanting to rush things. Just because you have the ideas doesn't mean you're ready. So 2025 feels like you're focusing more on how your energy can benefit your immediate future in terms of like your present and the year ahead, without putting too much pressure on how this is all going to impact the next 5 years of your life. I definitely see an unexpected surprise that is impacting your short-term goals, forcing you to restructure your responsibilities, your priorities, in order to make sure that you're accommodating for this change, this shift, this surprise. It's not what you were expecting, but it's nothing more than you can handle. The other reason we have the Eight of Wands reversed is because you guys seem to be hard to follow up with. 2025 is a difficult year for communication with you. Could be due to a distance, could be due to stress. Again, your capacity is very low, and it feels like it's hard for people to follow up with you. And this is not just something that impacts you during Mercury retrograde. This is something that people feel creates distance between you and them for the whole year. With the Eight of Wands reversed, your capacity is limited. It's really important that you consider that before you postpone or procrastinate? Is it easier for you to do it right then, right there? Or is that a promise you simply shouldn't make? So that's what I'm seeing with tarot. Let's pack these cards up and we'll get into those key themes, which include challenges, opportunities, and advice. Spirit, what is my Group 1's main challenge for 2025? Okay, your main challenge is the cardinal energy. I don't think that's even in frame. Let's put it there. And then I'll check the camera. Yeah, cool. What is their main opportunity? Main opportunity is opposition. What is their main advice for 2025? Okay, your main advice is mutable and second house, which are showing up together. The back of the deck is Chiron. This is the year to really address your feelings, especially your uncomfortable feelings. Chiron references feelings that can't resolve easily. And they may be feelings that stir from old wounds, but that doesn't mean that the narrative is exactly the same. Chiron says that overall, your advice for 2025 is to honor how you feel. Pretending you don't feel that way isn't going to help you. Chiron is also highlighting the importance of addressing things before they get worse. Uncomfortable feelings especially, fears especially. Address them before they get worse. This is in reference to your relationships, your working relationships. Address those uncomfortable feelings before they get worse. Let's have a look at your main challenge over here. For Cardinal to show up, actually, I just got to make, yeah, cool. As long as they're all in frame, that's the main thing. So for Cardinal to show up, your biggest challenge is being able to take initiative for yourself. This Cardinal energy is about taking charge, feeling like you're in the driver's seat, and also feeling motivated enough, assertive enough. This year is all about you, and your biggest challenge is stepping up for you, being able to be that person who you can rely on. This is also about putting yourself first, which is a narrative we've heard previously, so I won't delve into that too much. But this feels challenging because it's very easy this year for you to get distracted by everybody else, by those around you, and by all your other responsibilities / connections / goals. This cardinal energy is saying, keep it simple. Your capacity is limited. Stay focused on the overall plan, on the overall point, which is nothing can happen if you're not taking care of yourself first. And so it seems silly, but it's quite a specific, direct, simple message. Your biggest challenge is showing up for yourself. So let's have a look at your biggest opportunity. Next to that, we have opposition. Now, the prefix op could be significant to you. I would look it up. I don't know much about my prefixes, but OPP could be very significant because it's shown up in your opportunity position with the card opposition. So it just feels too uncanny. Now, as shown on this card, we have two planets opposing each other. And this is in astrology. Obviously, I know the sun is a star in astronomy. So we can see on this card, we have Mercury opposing the sun. This is interesting because it doesn't have to be those two placements in your chart. But when this card does show up, it tells me that your ego could be opposing your mind. Logically, you know what to do, but from a space of ego, it's hard for you to admit that to yourself. It's hard for you to do that. Pride could be getting in your way, and this is an opportunity because it gives you a chance to reflect, to think, to make sure that you're thinking before you react. Your ego is going to be checked by logic multiple times this year. And it may be in a way where things are happening for you that you never expected would happen. 2025 is surprising you in some way. For some of you, this is a surprise pregnancy. For others of you, this is a surprise career path that you seem to accidentally discover. And for others of you, this is about a surprise move that you weren't expecting in 2025. Whatever this surprise is, it strengthens your relationships, but it does take you by surprise and it challenges your ego because you said to yourself, I would never do this. I could never do this. Sorry, my stomach is rumbling. I'm not hungry, but clearly whatever I ate is not happy with me. So I'm sorry if you can hear that. I just had to address it. It happened like 3 times. I'm like, there's no way they didn't hear that. But anyway, as I was saying, now that I've gotten that out of the way, your biggest opportunity is being able to check your ego with logic, which means instead of reacting, you're reflecting, you're thinking, you're rethinking, you're having to look at your life differently to what you expected. And this is an opportunity, not a challenge. Can I just say that again? This is your opportunity, not your challenge. So enjoy it. Enjoy the fact that we are limited to the scope of knowledge that we can have about our lives, and these surprises happen to us for a reason. They may not be a part of our original plan, but they are a big part of how we were designed to live in this life. It's not something we could have predicted, but it wasn't our role to predict it. It's about how we adapt. This is an opportunity for you to adapt for your highest good. Now over here, your advice is saying the exact same thing. That's why I kind of said that. I jumped the gun a little bit. Your advice is to adapt to these little changes. The second house is very similar to the Two of Pentacles reversed in the first part of your reading. The second house is talking about your immediate environment, your routine, and it's also highlighting the fact that in order for your financial circumstances to improve this year, you have to be flexible. You have to be able to adapt to the solutions by identifying the problems and being open to flexibility with how your income is earned and with how your money is spent. That is the best way that you can be successful financially. There are times when you may need to sacrifice, but there will be times when you need to step up in order to gain the financial rewards. Now, this mutable energy is all about flexibility, and it's not just talking about flexibility when it comes to expectations, but it's also talking about flexibility when it comes to your energy, your mindset. Keep an open mind. Stay energetically open to the highest possible outcome in 2025, and you will be successful no matter what. I feel this mutable energy is really calling for you to have an almost nonchalant vibe. It's giving me Pisces. And Pisces may panic. They really do. They panic, but overall, it's their nonchalant approach to big issues that makes them successful when it comes to the universe's serendipitous opportunities. If you trust in your heart, in your instincts, that the universe has your back, then the universe will provide. You are definitely in the dark, but that doesn't mean you aren't being looked after. You're being guided, and you're not supposed to carry the burden of knowing everything this year. So I hope that's helpful, sweet souls. I feel like, this kind of reading could find you at a time where If your mindset isn't right, it seems really scary. And I hope I've done my best at really explaining things to the majority of this group in a way that is comforting and informative rather than just intimidating and ominous. Your year ahead is honestly filled with a lot of themes that, when we forecast it, sound scary. But it's important for you to remember that you aren't given any more than you can handle. These themes will play out naturally, and you will adapt and overcome naturally. Don't overthink it. When you feel in the dark, return to this reading, return to your notes, and read the advice, read the key words to help comfort yourself. But trust you're only given as much as you can handle. You've got this. This year is about thriving in unexpected ways and really stepping into your highest possible outcome in ways that you could have never predicted for yourself. So that's where I'm going to leave your YouTube reading, and we're going to go into your extended reading now, where I will do a month by month breakdown of what you can expect in the year ahead. We'll do January through to December. And if that sounds helpful, especially if the first part of your reading has been helpful or informative or interesting, the link to your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. That link takes you to a page on my website where I host my extended readings, so please make sure that you're scrolling or swiping through the playlist to find your right reading, the right group. Remember your group 1 of the 2025 predictions reading that I made in January 2025. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you, group 1. Thank you for engaging with me and interacting and exchanging energy. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy in your year ahead, in your road ahead. Look after your beautiful selves until we meet again. Bye. Hi, my group 2s, and welcome. If you recognize this compass card, then you're in the right place. We're asking Spirit for 2025 predictions. On YouTube, we'll be having a look at the main themes in your year ahead, covering your love life, your relationships, your finances, as well as your self-development. I'll be having a look at what your main challenges will be, what your main opportunities will be, and we'll get main advice for you that you can utilize throughout the year. If that resonates, there will be an extended reading for your group. In your extended reading, I'll be breaking down your year month by month, January to December, following that theme of getting advice on your relationships, your self-development, and your finances, but for each month. So there's a lot to be covered in this reading. We are going to start right here on YouTube with this compass card. Now, there's a lot of symbolism in this card. We can see that the compass on this card has the number 50 above it, and it also has all of these zodiac signs, which are directional signs on this compass. Instead of north, south, east, west, we're seeing Aries all the way through to Pisces. Now, this compass tells us that this is going to be a year that is focused on direction and purpose. It could be a year in which you feel very motivated by your north node. And so I would encourage you to have a look at your natal chart and pay close attention to the placement that your north node is in. Well, your north node placement. It almost feels like you're sticking true to who you are, to what you want, and to what gives you a sense of self and direction. The compass card doesn't necessarily always mean that we have direction. It can sometimes mean that we feel a little bit lost. And I can see with the number 50 that you could be reaching an interesting milestone this year. It could be a significant age. It could be a significant achievement, a significant chapter starting or ending in your life that has you questioning the direction that you're heading in. This makes me think that you have the opportunity to recalibrate your compass and ultimately decide what direction you're going to go in. Now, this astrology compass shows us the different zodiac signs, which I'm interpreting as different attributes within yourself. If you don't know much about astrology, there are so many different placements in your birth chart. Your sun sign is just the tip of the iceberg, and often people are more similar to other aspects of their chart rather than their sun sign, because your sun sign is who you are over time and at the best of times. It's not who you are all the time. So you may be resonating as being someone who's been in their Mars placement for some time, coping with a lot of pressure and having to just persevere and push forward, overcoming challenges. This is going to be the year where you decide, am I going to continue to do that? You may resonate as someone who's been trying to learn more about their Venus sign in order to enhance the opportunities you have in love and relationships. This could be the year that you decide, am I going to continue to do that? Now, I do think that this compass gives you plenty of opportunities throughout the year to check in with yourself, to see how you're going, and to see if you can make any adjustments to your strategy and to the progress that you're making. It's likely that by the end of the year, you will feel as though you're starting as a brand new version of yourself after making a lot of small changes and some big changes throughout the year. You're going to end the year of 2025 feeling as though you're giving yourself a blank slate, a fresh start. Before I pull tarot to get more information about your main theme for 2025, we're going to have a look at what the creator of this deck had to say about this card. So, number 50, please, Spirit. Number 50. As long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power will never be lost. The number 141 could be significant as well. Upright. You are entering uncharted territories right now. You can expect wonderful new experiences. To stay on the highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or a higher power can serve this function. Money, property, prestige, romance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. They are simply things you may experience along the journey. Know that spirit is working in your life, so even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easy to find your way. Have faith and trust, for your compass with spirit as true north will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on a starless night when all seems dark. Now, I remember when this card came out, it was actually reversed, so I'm going to read the reversal as well, just in case it does resonate throughout the year. What is your higher power right now? Whatever you constantly focus on long enough becomes your higher power. If you worry about financial insecurity, materialism is your idol. If you obsess over a relationship, that is your God. If you're concerned about your weight or your looks or your status, you've lost your personal power and your way. Nothing but spirit can be your guiding force. You'll never truly find what you seek if these worries and distractions are your constant focus. Surrender and shift your compass. Be still and watch as the needle points to true north. Align yourself and you'll easily find your way back to where you are meant to be. So I think overall, this is definitely your year to find your sense of direction. And your direction is about your focus. Spirit is saying that there could be a lot of distractions. There could be certain insecurities or uncertainties about your future that limit the scope of your focus, that cause you to have tunnel vision from time to time, and that distract you from where you should be channeling your energy. Let's have a look at what Tarot has to say about these messages. Spirit, for my group 2s, what is their main theme in 2025? What is group 2's main theme in 2025? Okay, your first card is the Page of Swords. Your second card is the Two of Cups reversed. What is Group 2's main theme in 2025? We also have the Strength card, and we're going to take the Ten of Pentacles. These are pretty big themes, sweet soul. A lot of influence and energy. We have the King of Wands at the back of the deck. The influence and energy. King of Wands. Now, overall, this is definitely an ambitious year for you. You guys are ticking a lot of material boxes, and you could be really focused on leveling up in a way that gives you a boost in your confidence as well as your lifestyle. So material leveling up seems to be quite a main focus this year. And that could be why certain messages came through with the other oracle card. However, for the King of Wands to be here, 2025 is a good year to implement a vision or a plan that you have for your journey and to really give it your all. The King of Wands is all about strategy, about planning, and about putting effort into ambitious ideas. The thing about this energy is it feels really positive. It feels really kind of focused on the horizon. And even though these plans might be quite big, the ideas of being successful seem quite extreme. It's your energy that allows this to happen. This is peak manifestation energy. I'm kind of getting mixed messages as though people around you aren't able to support your vision. You may feel as though others judge you for being so ambitious. There could be people who are doubting your ability to pull things off or who are questioning your work ethic, your priorities. There's a lot of people jealous of you, is what I want to say. So just be careful, please. Protect yourself. In the year ahead, you're shining. And I'm feeling like you're being ostracized for having these ambitions. Now, I want to talk about the Two of Cups first. The Two of Cups is reversed. And next to the Page of Swords, I think this could be a year in which you meet a lot of people who you aren't necessarily compatible with. If you're single, you may have a few flings or a few connections that don't really get past the early stages of dating, and you could even be friend zoning someone in 2025. These aren't negative experiences. These are opportunities for you to learn more about what you want and what you don't want. And so I'm really feeling as though you're being very selective about the company that you keep. And this is in terms of friends and friendships as well as romance. In 2025, my Group 2s, with the Two of Cups reversed, you're not putting up with people that can't meet you halfway. You have a level of standard and you expect people to be able to respect where you're coming from and to be able to match your energy to a certain extent. You don't seem to be looking for people who are just like you, but you want people who are cut from a similar cloth. You seem to be seeking the companionship of people who have similar values, similar interests, similar goals for the future. You want those kinds of people around you. So the main focus when it comes to love and relationships is exclusivity. You're being very selective, curious with the Page of Swords, but careful. You have a strong foundation of values and integrity that sets you up for connections that are loyal, that are long-term, and that are kind of enriched by a traditional sense of connection. You may find yourself distancing yourself from people who were raised differently to you or who shared different worldviews. You could be curious about them, and there's part of you that wants to kind of know more, but you don't keep those kinds of people close to you. This curiosity within you delves deeper than just your relationships to others. It is about the relationship you have to yourself. There's a precious, caring, empathetic nurturer within you that you are protecting from the average person. You kind of approach life curiously and with a childlike hunger for information, but you don't allow many people into your mind, let alone into your heart. You're coming across as a fierce protector of your inner child, and this is going to impact your family, your loved ones, and your friendships, because when the going gets tough, you tend to isolate instead of ask for help. You tend to kind of keep it to yourself instead of opening up and sharing the load. You also are fiercely protective of the people that you love. So when they're going through something, you seem to really show up for them, but you don't afford them the same opportunity. And this is being noticed in the year ahead. You're seen as someone who is incredibly valuable, like invaluable to have as a friend, as a family member, as a lover. But you don't seem to like to receive as much as you give. With that being said, I'm seeing a lot of symbolism of movement and travel. 2025 could have you brushing shoulders with a lot of different people because you're physically putting yourself out there to experience other cultures, other ways of life, other lifestyles in general, other people. I can see that you could be doing a really big overseas trip this year that is really going to help you gain your sense of direction and purpose. It helps you see things completely differently. It's like instead of taking a step back, you're removing yourself completely from the picture and you're taking on a completely new point of view. Getting out and away from your immediate environment, from your hometown, is going to be really good for your soul. There's an energy within you that seems very restless, and it's mostly coming from here. A key theme is that you are a little bit lost. You need a new sense of direction, and you're craving new experiences, but you don't want to give up what you've been working towards, and you don't want to jump into something just yet. So in 2025, you are formulating and developing new ideas about how you could live in the future, about what you could do 5 years from now, and about possible career paths that you could carve for yourself 10 years into the future. You're learning what matters to you, what is important to you. And I want to say that money and financial security is very important to you. When it comes to your finances, you could be sowing seeds for a new career path or a new investment opportunity. But again, it's not a risk you're worth. It's not a high risk you're taking this year. It's something that is measurable, that takes time, and that you can slowly build upon. The Ten of Pentacles is here to say that you're likely to do what is safe and what is going to generate results over time. Career is important to you, family is important to you, and financial security throughout your future is important to you. So when I look at your finances, even if you experience temporary challenges, it's not going to be a huge concern moving forward. It's not going to be something that completely rattles you. And for the Ten of Pentacles to be here, if anything, you're going to see a lot of reward in 2025. You're going to see a lot of signs of investments paying off, career growth really skyrocketing. It could be the year that you retire or that you hit a huge milestone with your finances. Now, the only other thing we need to talk about is your self-development, which I've kind of been addressing indirectly. We've been talking about how this year is about you as much as it is about what your heart kind of wants and what you're feeling called to do. It's definitely going to be a year in which you plant seeds for your future while also appreciating how far you've come so far. 2025 is the year to celebrate milestones, to really cherish the opportunities you have with the people that you love, and to boost your ego in healthy ways. For the Strength card to be here, I want you to know that no matter what challenge, change, or adversity you encounter, you will overcome it easily. 2025 is the year that you prove to yourself and those around you how resilient, resourceful, strong, and perseverant you are. Nothing can get the best of you. It is your ability to react and respond with grace, compassion, patience, and strength that really shows you and those in your corner how invaluable you are. I'm getting that you have a lot of admirers, but you have a lot of people who are quite jealous of you as well. Evil eye is very strong in this group, especially if you have a platform online or if you're doing things that people from your community aren't usually able to do. I don't want to take anything away from your hard work and the skills and the experiences that you've endured to get here. But it feels like a lot of people are projecting insecurities onto you, experiencing bouts of jealousy when they keep up with you. And so that may be something to be mindful of, just so that you're not putting everything out there. Protecting your peace is almost like a byproduct of the highs and the lows that you'll experience in 2025. So that's what I'm seeing with tarot. Let's get some oracle cards out now to have a look at your main challenges, your main opportunities, and your main advice. Okay. What is my group 2's main challenge for 2025, Spirit? What is group 2's main challenge? Okay, we have Yod. Interesting. Very feminine energy. What is their main opportunity? Oops. Okay, we have Neptune. More feminine energy. What is their main advice? We have New Moon. Okay. I'm going to clarify with tarot, but at the back of the deck is a descendant. So with this card, I'm hearing we're not going back. There's a lot that you're learning about your past, but we're not dwelling anymore. This is going to be the year that you realize how far you've come, how mature you are, and how detached you are from the version that you used to be. So I do think with descendant being reversed, there is still wisdom and insight to gain from the past version of ourselves, but like we don't feel like we're missing out when we think about who we used to be and who was in our lives previously. A connection to somebody from our past could be really highlighting how far we've come, whether this person has passed away or whether our connection with them is a marker of a low point in our lives. We're looking at that relationship and that low point in our lives and we're going, gosh, we've come so far. We are nowhere near as vulnerable and I want to say broken is the word that's coming through. It's not a word that I personally like to use, but it could be verbiage or an adjective that you've used or that has been used before. We're not like that anymore is what's coming through. Now, I want to talk about your main challenge, but I want to read from the guidebook because I know this energy is feminine and I know that it's very collaborative, but I feel I'm not giving the card justice unless I read from the guidebook. So I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, that would have been no time for you, but for me it was a good minute. So Yod, first of all, is an aspect pattern, and it's the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, known to us as the finger or hand of God. It can be a heavy, energetic burden to carry, as the native often does not understand how to use the planets in play and must consciously work to engage and activate the planet at the apex and use it as a tool for healing. Life feels like a continual engagement of something bigger than the native's expectations, a rigorous experience of encountering something cosmic. So really, this card is saying some of your challenges this year are deeply ingrained patterns within your own family, which have likely been present for generations. Key terms include karma, ancestors, healing, cycles, and trauma. In light, the Yod shows us that an individual is tasked with great responsibility in this lifetime, suggesting an immense capacity for bringing about transformation and healing. So the thing that I'm really picking up is that this energy is strongly connected to a cosmic energy, a God energy. As much as this feels like a burden and a challenge, it's also highlighting patterns that have been there for generations. You guys may resonate as people that have been able to identify and see this for some time. So 2025 is simply making these things more obvious to those around you. It feels like you have the opportunity to really do some deep healing with your family and with your loved ones that is ultimately going to bring you closer together. It's going to give you each the choice to change your behaviors, to change your mindsets, and to rewrite the way that you love, support, and nurture your familial bonds. What is your orientation to your ancestry, and how do you do the important work of connecting with the grief that lies beneath the surface? Your mantra is, through conscious work, I have the power to heal myself and my ancestors. Honestly, it's big. That's quite a big theme. It's heavy energy. But it's also something that I feel you've been doing. I don't think this is the first time that you've thought about these things. I think that for some reason, the year 2025 is the year in which you really tackle these familiar patterns head on instead of repeating these cycles. So that is your main challenge. Having a look at your main opportunity, we have Neptune, which really kind of plays into our King of Wands energy that we saw at the back of your deck. Neptune is a planet that is very dreamy, that likes to fantasize. And as an opportunity, this is about letting the sky be your limit, essentially. It feels like you guys have the chance to really imagine a better future for yourself and to think bigger than you were afforded to previously. We're imagining new pathways of experience and opportunity in the year ahead. Neptune also brings this chance to heal. There's a strong emotional aspect to this planet. It plays into our fantasies, our daydreams, our illusions. As an opportunity, it gives us this childlike chance to really sort of, Peter Pan syndrome, romanticize the life that we could lead, rather than have to face reality all the time. So you'll have a lot of opportunity to disappear into your thoughts, to romanticize the life that you lead and the life that you could lead in your future. You'll be fostering a dream in 2025 that you'll hold very near and dear to your heart. It feels like this is the year in which a beautiful wish is formed within your heart. And you guys are learning more about what is important to you and about what you want to get out of this human experience we call life. So interesting opportunity. I'll clarify with tarot these two cards before I pull any more cards. What else can you tell us about the main challenge in Group 2's 2025, Spirit? Okay, we have the moon. What is their main opportunity with this Neptune energy? Group 2's main opportunity. Okay, I've got a card. We have the Six of Wands reversed. Yeah, I see that you can kind of disappear into yourself. Get out of the eyes of others. It may feel like this year has a lot of people wanting your attention. There'll be a lot of private moments, key opportunities behind the scenes for you to just disappear, for you to not worry about other people's expectations of you, and for you to just focus on yourself. You're also really kind of feeling a pressure and a pull. It's a pressure, but it's also like a drive to make people proud. And this year you're going to figure out how you can do that. You're going to come up with an idea that helps you feel like, if I can do this, I'm not only going to make myself really proud, but I'll make my parents proud, I'll make my children proud, I'll make my partner proud, I'll make my child, my younger self proud. But you're still holding it to yourself. You're not sharing it with many people. This is a beautiful opportunity because it's extremely validating. It's giving you a new sense of direction. It's that compass feeling. The biggest struggle is trying to figure out, well, how do I do this? When do I do this? Just because I have this idea doesn't mean I'm going to execute it perfectly. How do I bring this into fruition? And we do see that with the moon and Yod as your challenge. The moon is feeling as though it's a bit hard for you sometimes to turn these feelings, these dreams, these fantasies into reality, because they also harbor fears. They also are associated with a feeling of illusion, as though it can't possibly be real, or it's going to take too much time. Don't worry about it yet. Cherish it as a daydream. Turning it into reality will bring too much stress, too much strain. I also think that your main challenge in general could be trying to manage other people's fears. You might notice that your family are wanting to do things the way that they've always done things, and they have a really hard time breaking out of this cycle in which they're used to doing things a certain way. It could feel like you're really having to carve a path that you're doing for the first time, and that's scary for you and for those around you. It could feel like it's really hard for your family to support you in the choices that you're making. And you may have a hard time supporting certain family members as well, because you couldn't imagine doing things the way that they're doing it. So there's deep healing here possible within your family network, which includes, friends and acquaintances who you've known for so long they feel like family. We're trying to rewrite the emotional patterns that are rooted in fear, ultimately causing limits to our success. We're trying to change those. That is our challenge. And our opportunity is to really expand on our dreams, still keeping them private, but allowing ourselves to believe that that can be possible. It's not just a dream. So your main advice with new moon is to give yourself the chance to start something in 2025. This is a big dream that you have, and your advice is to go for it. You'll know when you're ready. It could be that this is something you want to do now at the time that you're listening to this reading, or you could be listening to this reading and going, I have no idea what she's talking about, because maybe you don't have these feelings until September. But overall, your advice is to give yourself the opportunity to start new cycles in 2025, cycles that are centered around financial expansion, deepening the relationships already present in your life, and developing the sense of self beyond where it stands presently. starting new dreams, allowing these dreams to take root in reality. The new moon comes with a lot of fear because there's uncertainty of how these things will play out. So your advice is to simply allow it to play out. Trust that this new cycle is happening for a reason, and that these new opportunities are being brought to you for a reason as well. There is a strong feeling here of not letting yourself stagnate. Enjoy and appreciate the milestones and the opportunities for new growth. Is there any other messages or advice you have for my group 2s with this new moon energy? Anything else that I may have missed, Spirit? Okay, we have a card at the back. King of Swords, interesting. Our King of Swords energy is ultimately an energy of discernment, of fairness, and it's a very objective decision-making energy. It's focused on the highest good of all involved, as well as the best possible outcome. So as advice, Spirit is asking for you to be diplomatic, for you to be thinking long-term, bigger picture, and for you to be fair and kind to yourself and to those around you. There are times where you may need to be diplomatic about the opinions that you have when loved ones come to you for advice or support. Instead of communicating from a feelings place or a reaction, you may need to bite your tongue, listen to all the information, all the facts, and then give an informed, advice-based opinion. It feels like you may need to be the bigger person more than once this year, mediating or seeking mediation in order to really heal those key relationships in your life. Don't hesitate to ask for professional advice if you are feeling lost emotionally, and if you are needing a sense of direction when it comes to the decisions you need to make in the year ahead. Take this seriously and see it as an opportunity to really develop some new pathways for your relationships, for your finances, and for your self-development. That is what I'm seeing for you, group 2. I'm going to end your YouTube reading there, and we're going to go into your extended reading on my website, where I will break down month by month what you can expect in 2025. If you'd like to access that extended reading, the link is in the description box or the pinned comment. Make sure once you're on that page on my website, you're selecting the right group. Each group will have a different link, and you will need to either swipe or scroll down to make sure you've selected the right group, your group 2 of my 2025 predictions reading. Thank you for all your time, your energy, and your support. I wish you prosperity, peace, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Thank you for your energy exchange right here. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you. Until our paths cross again, bye. Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. Excuse me, clearing energy already. If you recognize this follow the leader card, then this is going to be your reading with me. We're asking Spirit about your year ahead, 2025. Now, I did wait until the start of the year before I did this reading because I had a feeling that it was going to be a big energetic crossover, and I do still think we're going to have a lot of messages in this reading that are helpful, but I think giving that little bit of time into the year will definitely help this reading resonate a lot more for you all. If you get halfway and you go, this just doesn't feel right, definitely consider picking a different group, or maybe this reading just isn't for you. Putting out that disclaimer because your group will have a very specific message from what I've gathered from the last 2 readings, very specific themes are coming through. So without further ado, let's get into it. Spirit, please tune me into Group 3's energy. Please help me offer Group 3 the most clear, honest messages about their year ahead. So let's have a look at the card that I pulled for you, Group 3. Follow the Leader is the card that tells us more about what your main theme in 2025 is going to be. We can see with the number 40 here and the clock underneath number 40, there is a focus on transitioning from stability into new beginnings. 2025 is going to be a year that tries where you seem to be competing against the clock to get certain things done. Now, I do think for this to be a follow the leader energy, there is an energy here of you almost trying to play catch up. You could be feeling like you're competing against yourself and your own expectations, but this also feels like you're constantly comparing yourself to your peers and to your inspirations. I'm getting this feeling as though you have some big goals or some big boxes you want to tick in this year. And I definitely see you guys following a path in order to do this, taking certain steps and really sort of measuring your success. This feels like the kind of group that has active manifestations and you've got active to-do lists of things that you want to achieve in this year. I'm going to read some messages from the guidebook to help draw anything else out of this card, but also because this deck is a deck that was very carefully curated by the creator. And I want to see what she has to say about this card and how it might be relevant to your energy. So let's have a look at the number 40. We have a little mantra that says, every life is a teaching tool for others. Your authenticity and honesty are an example to those around you. You're being called to lead others by example. Your wisdom has been earned, and I'm also seeing 111 on here. Could be a significant sign or number for you. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventure of your life. The experiences of battle, won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be of service to others. Your suffering has been crystallized into a talisman of wisdom. Now you must share it. By being fully authentic, you'll lead others into the light. You'll be required to divulge some things about your past so that you may help someone else. Lead with love. There is another message here as well. Look to those whose great character and accomplishments you admire. Emulate the leaders you respect. You will then in turn have more to offer. So the thing about this energy is, in order to stay on track, you're being encouraged to draw up a proper plan for the year ahead. Really get into the nitty-gritty of how you can achieve the goals you've set for yourself, especially in terms of career and finances. For personal goals, you have to be clear about your intentions and desires, especially in relationships and self-development. It is important that throughout the year you feel confident enough to discuss how things really are and how the situation can work for the highest good of all. If you are open to communication, effective communication, and early intervention through effective communication, you will be very surprised with how far you get, is what I'm seeing. So I think that's where I was getting that comparison energy from. You guys may be trying to copy, for lack of a better word, someone who inspires you, someone who you look up to, and trying to kind of follow in their footsteps. But I also get this energy of you trying to lead by example, as though you have a lot of responsibility as well with this 4 and 40. So let's get some tarot out to see what else we can gain from this card. What else can you tell us about Group 3's main theme, please, Spirit? What else can you tell us about Group 3's main theme? The Fool card. Very much new beginnings. What else can you tell us about Group 3's we have the Empress, Group 3's main theme. We have the Emperor. Wow. Main theme. We have the King of Cups. Whoa. And we have Justice reversed. Okay. Let me just come in a little bit. I might move these over actually, so the glare's a little bit better. Okay. The Six of Cups flew out of the deck as well, so I'll keep it close to me. It's not necessarily going to fit on the table, but I'll keep it close to me. So here's what I'm seeing, sweet souls. I'm seeing a lot of themes of needing to reevaluate solutions, needing to reconsider your options, and needing to check in with yourself and your loved ones. It seems like this overall theme of trying to successfully execute a plan in 2025 is being influenced by a level of responsibility that you feel within yourself and to those around you, as well as a desire to grow and to really nurture the lifestyle that you're creating for yourself. You may resonate as someone who is co-creating, because I'm seeing two very prominent energies here, one masculine and one feminine. It feels like 2025 is the year for you to co-create, and co-creation is something that you do with a solid partner who complements you and can meet you halfway. I'm seeing with the Emperor and the Empress this energy of nurturing and kind of guiding your growth through stability, support, and structure. There's this interesting cohesion over here with these two energies. It feels like synergy. It feels like two forces working together, both equally strong, but complementary through differences. What I'm seeing with the Emperor is structure and a serious element of commitment as well as stability. The Emperor is a feeling of, I'm capable, I'm able, I've got this. The Empress has this desire to grow, and the Empress has this creative energy within them as well, of formulating the plan, the ideas, and really kind of bringing things to fruition before the Emperor can take control of the situation. So that's where I'm seeing a lot of co-creation over here in your energy. You're likely working close with somebody, following either in their footsteps or even inspiring and bouncing off of them as you develop a way forward for yourself. Now, these themes are huge. I don't think this is just impacting one area of your life. I think this is impacting your whole life. This is impacting your lifestyle, your career. It's impacting your self-development, which are the main themes that we're focusing on here. And it's impacting your relationships. I really think with the Empress and the Emperor being here, sweet souls, there is a strong focus on playing off of masculine and feminine energies within self and within others in order to feel like we're getting shit done, for lack of a better word. Now, the numbers on these cards are very important as they play a significant role in terms of the themes. With the 4 in Emperor, we saw it over here in your Oracle card as well in the number 40. The 4 in Emperor is a strong reminder of how important a stable foundation is before you can move forward and progress, expecting growth. The main, I want to say, cornerstone to success that the Emperor brings in any given situation is that stability, that structure. I do think that no matter how ambitious or, growth focused you get in 2025, you will fall back on your stability and you will feel comforted by the fact that you have a strong foundation to return to. So I think with the Emperor being here, it's more of a reminder of how capable and able you are in the road ahead. And this is hopefully confirmation that you can achieve the things you want to achieve because you've already set yourself up for success. Now, with the Empress next to them, I do feel like this is a theme of fertility, growth, abundance, nurturing. This is where we see that stability, wanting to expand, wanting to become more. In your life, this feels like moments where your routine and your habits are essential for feeling a level of normalcy and for feeling capable. I do think that you may be really pushing yourself this year, and what you're going to be relying on is your ability to take care of yourself first before you consider pursuing your goals or supporting somebody else. The Empress is saying a big part of you being a leader or being able to follow a leader is also about taking care of yourself first and foremost. This Empress's energy not only promotes this self-care theme that I'm for some reason really needing to repeat, but it's also talking about your habits, the way you treat yourself, the way you see yourself, the way you build for yourself. The Empress is interested in taking care of your vessel in terms of your body and how you nourish your body, how you care for your body, so that you can actually enjoy a quality of life and a quality of outcome. It's almost hinting that the sentimental moments in 2025 are just as important as the material achievements. I feel like you will have a lot to celebrate in the year ahead, but you also need to kind of have those moments where you're slowing down and you're pinching yourself a little bit, reminding yourself of what's real and what's important to you. It's your values that keep you grounded, and it's the kind of sentimental moments that seem to really create lasting memories in 2025. So this all feels very vague. I'm going to continue moving forward, and if I need to, we'll center back and get some very specific predictions. I feel like your main themes are literally coming through as themes, and then I can get some more specific predictions once I've cleared these two cards as well. I kind of already spoke about justice, but there is a correlation between these two cards that I want to talk about. So let's start with this King of Cups. As a main theme, the King of Cups contributes a more, well, actually, we see two cards, the King of Cups and the Emperor, showing us a little bit of stoicism. The King of Cups is an emotional energy, but they're also very good at using their emotions and hiding their emotions. I think that the year ahead is calling for you to be more of a master when it comes to your reactions. Be more self-aware of how your emotions are driving you, are fueling your desires, and are kind of helpful ways of reading the situation. There's going to be moments where you're really analyzing the people around you for how they feel and for how their emotions are impacting the conversation you're having with them or the situation you found yourself in. I feel like 2025 is calling for your empathy as well as your ability to read between the lines of what someone means with their heart. Now, the King of Cups is a strong master of emotion, and they know how to use emotion for their benefit as well. In the upright position, it feels like you're seeing the best of people in 2025. This doesn't mean that it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but you've experienced enough in life and you've kind of been through enough to know how to observe when a situation is for you. And so I feel with the King of Cups, you're going to be having healthy boundaries with people, of knowing when to distance yourself or walk away, or just give yourself more time away from a challenging situation. I think that you're going to have more awareness of boundaries and capacity, knowing when to check out and when to kind of pass that emotional responsibility back to the person who's feeling these things. But I can also see how people are really coming to you this year with a lot of advice. You have a lot of people that seem to be wanting your either input or just kind of wanting you to hear them out. So you're kind of in this position of power with the King of Cups, where you're going to have to decide, well, how much do I share? Almost like a therapist. It feels like you're in the position where you can enlighten people, or you can choose to go, you know what, it's not my responsibility. I'm just going to let them figure it out for themselves. There's something about this that feels very empowering for you, because you're acknowledging, or you're noticing how those around you really trust you, and how you are a confidant and someone who, you know, people feel they can come to with their problems and with their good news as well. But this also feels like a responsibility you don't always want all the time. And that's why with the Justice card reversed, we see some imbalances here and some disharmony. Justice card reversed is talking about situations that feel unfair, and it is also referencing imbalances in your relationships and with your commitments. There are times in 2025 where you are going to need to reevaluate what you have signed up for. Is that loan in my best interest anymore? Is this relationship working for both of us? Is this commitment that I made to myself at the end of 2024 worth pursuing in the new year? Do I need to reevaluate how much I've signed up for? It feels like justice is reversed because it's trying to, well, a big part of 2025 for you is the universe and your circumstances trying to show you how you need to be very careful about what you sign up for and about how much you give. I can see with these two cards, you have some sort of goal that you're actively pursuing, and you have people that want to be there with you, supporting you, watching you, cheering for you. And that can also feel like a lot of pressure. With the Justice card reversed, I think you may need to slow down in 2025 and give yourself the chance to go, okay, I can have this, but maybe now isn't the right time. Or I will still achieve this goal, but maybe these circumstances aren't ideal for me. It reminds me of when you're in that process of trying to apply for a loan, and maybe the first offer isn't ideal for your situations. Before you sign the dotted line, double check the interest on the repayments, double check the frequency of payments, double check the collateral of missing a payment, double check the terms of agreement in the contract, in that what is expected of you, what is expected of the people borrowing the money to you. It feels like this is a case in which the fine print may screw you over if you're not careful. And so the thing about justice being reversed is we will know that the situation isn't right for us. And through that information, we will be given an opportunity to make changes. So we don't have to be stuck in this. Once we have the information, we can then decide, well, what am I going to do about this? I don't feel right about it. So what am I going to do to change this? And again, this is impacting relationships, commitments, contracts. So those are the major themes that I'm seeing. They came through very cut and dry. Let's see if I can get some specific predictions now about how these themes are going to impact 2024. The first thing that's coming through is the birth of a new baby being very significant to this group. There's something about a pregnancy here. And for most of you, this is planned. This is something excited. It doesn't have to be your own child, but I think with the Empress showing up for you, this is a big deal. It's going to change the way you think about your future. It's going to change the way you want things for your future. And it's going to impact how you spend your free time. whoever ends up having this child or falling pregnant, it feels like you're close enough to them to where you want to readjust your lifestyle to make sure that you're incorporating more sentimental quality time with the people that you love. The Emperor here is foreshadowing balance with risk versus ambition. You're going to need to make many decisions in 2025 about how you can balance risk with ambition. It's clear you've got a passionate plan of what you want for your future, and there's going to be moments where it feels risky to kind of advance in that plan versus it's just about accountability, putting one foot in front of the other. As boring as it is, you got to keep moving forward. So the Emperor is talking about being able to handle the mundane with the excitement in order to bring things into fruition. I also think that the Emperor is highlighting the masculine energies in your life and how they can be utilized moving forward. Whether you are a masculine energy or not, you could always call on the support of other masculine energies or masculine energies in general to be a big part of the process. There's practical support here from masculine energies in your life. People who are organized, people who take initiative, people who aren't afraid to make the first move, people who have natural leadership qualities, people who handle stress and pressure very well, people who work efficiently, people who are great communicators, people who can bring a group of people together, and people who can execute plans seem to be very prominent in your 2025. There could be project coordination going on, or some sort of project management happening, but I see these masculine energies being very important in 2025. This could also be about you making sure that your leaders are accessible, whether they are teachers, whether they are, bosses and workers in an employment situation. Make sure that your leaders are accessible for support, for insight, and for practical help towards your goals. With the King of Cups over here, I do feel like your personal development and your relationships are a major priority in 2025. It seems like your career and your finances kind of follow suit as long as your well-being is being addressed first. The King of Cups indicates a feeling of you kind of mastering the awareness of your feelings. Now, the way that I look at emotions, they're not really something that we can control. They're something that we can observe. They're something that we can be aware of within ourselves and others. And they are something that we can teach ourselves about so that we know more about why we feel that way, and why those feelings kind of happen when they do. But we can't really stop feelings. We can't control them. There's always that natural sort of barrier there to which feelings are able to break through. So what this feels like for you is that 2025 kind of puts you in this position where you're able to accept that uncontrollable aspect of emotion. And you're also able to observe emotion with wisdom, with intellect, and with experience. It's like you have a lot more patience and compassion for the people around you and for how their brain works and how their emotional brain works. And you're also going to be reaching this enlightenment level of awareness of how emotions work for you. The King of Cups masters emotions by observing them almost objectively. So I do think that 2025 has you feeling more accepting, giving yourself and others more grace, while also allowing yourself to feel and to express raw emotion. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I've been rambling so much about these cards. With the Justice card, a prediction that I'm getting is that you guys may be recognizing some irreconcilable differences in a relationship. You may be feeling like these challenges are pretty big, these issues are pretty big, and I need to really think about how I'm going to get out of this. Now, if it's not a relationship, it's another commitment that you've made, it's another contract that you've signed, and it's really making you go, wow, I don't feel good about where my future is headed in this situation. You may be seeking legal advice in 2025, or you may be getting professional advice about how you should remove yourself from this situation. But I would say that you're also being very cautious about committing yourself anymore. I'm hearing the words, be careful what you sign up for. And this feels like your inner dialogue kind of communicating with you throughout the year, just encouraging you to be very careful about signing up for loans, about making commitments to people, and about signing contracts. It feels like you want flexibility more than anything, and you really want to see where things are going before you commit yourself further. And that's especially for relationships and jobs in 2025. So that's what tarot is telling me. Let me have a look at your main challenge, your main opportunity, and your main advice now. All right. We're going to switch to oracle cards. For my group 3s, please, Spirit. What is their main challenge for 2025? Now, this is plural. I know I'm saying challenge, but these are the challenges you are likely to experience in the year ahead. What are the main challenges my group 3s are likely to experience? Okay, the first card is mutable. What are their main opportunities in 2025? Okay, opportunities, we have Aries reversed. And what is their main advice in 2025? Okay, we'll take the top card. We have 33. Yeah, this feels very right for you. Alrighty. I'm just going to pause this and I'll be back, sweet souls. I need to reset behind the scenes so that we can draw some more cards. By my group 3s, I did have to take a little break. I had to recenter my energy after the first part of your reading before I continued with this section. So now that I'm back, Spirit, please connect me back to my group 3's energies. Please help me to offer group 3 the most clear, honest messages about their reading. Let's have a look. All right, so I shuffled these 3 cards for you. We have your main challenges for 2025, your main opportunities, and your main advice. Let's have a look at your challenges first. I like to get the hard stuff out of the way so that we can focus on the positives and the encouragement, which is our advice. Looking at your challenges, group 3, mutable is saying that you might be finding it really hard to stay flexible. I think that with this idea that you have for yourself and with the plans and the expectations that you have for 2025, your biggest challenge is to let life happen as it is meant to happen. When things don't go according to plan, it's going to be very hard for you to not feel deflated, disappointed, when actually this is about redirection. Nature and life's mystery is definitely redirection and things not always going the way that we had hoped or planned. You can't possibly be prepared for everything. This mutable energy is asking for you to be more flexible, and it's saying that one of your main challenges is to be able to see your fork in the roads as opportunities to pivot. Now, I think there's going to be more than one occasion in which you have multiple ways of pursuing your plan. There's going to be moments throughout 2025 where you're kind of at a crossroads. And Spirit is saying, if it doesn't work out down one road, it's because you are intended to take a different route. Don't give up. This isn't about bursting your bubble or destroying your hopes and dreams. But whatever redirections you do encounter in 2025, they are there to help align you with your best possible outcome. So trust that 2025 is happening for you, not to you. Let's get some tarot to clarify. Is there anything else I'm missing, Spirit, with this mutable energy? What is my Group 3's biggest challenge in 2025? What is Group 3's biggest challenge in 2025? Okay, we have the Knight of Wands. So, Knight of Wands reversed, yeah, it's hard for you to embrace spontaneity without giving up. Oh, wow. The Hanged Man is very graphic for that in this deck. Your biggest challenge here is trying not to take life too personally. Like, there's so many of us coexisting simultaneously and we're all main characters. Sometimes things are happening for a higher purpose, a bigger reason. It's not always to punish us. It's not always because we haven't done enough. It's not always about you. And I mean that in the best of ways. Life is happening for you. Life starts with you. Your perspective is everything. And sometimes things just cannot proceed within the limited scope of our vision. It seems like there's going to be an opportunity here to think bigger and to broaden your perspective on how your year is going to go. With the Knight of Wands reversed, it seems like you guys will be surprised more than once. There's an unexpected shift in energy and in intention. You guys may be finding it really hard to rely on other people in the year ahead. It could feel like the people around you aren't as motivated as you, aren't as prepared as you, and are less reliable in their ability to execute, which is very interesting because we saw the Emperor in the first part of your reading. So that tells me that you may need to be very careful about how you expect things to play out when you're collaborating with others and when you're setting goals for yourself. Be realistic, but leave a little room there for life's mysteries to turn things around. Now, this is not going to be completely disruptive, completely chaotic, but it's just different enough to where it feels challenging for you. You're going to hit a point in 2025 where you go, why is nothing going according to plan? And that's where you need to check yourself and go, oh my gosh, that's what this crazy lady on the internet was talking about. She warned me about this and it's happening now. So let's have a look at your opportunities and how this correlates to your challenges. Your main opportunities are Aries reversed. As opportunities go, this kind of tells me that you guys may be picking things up and trying to kind of finish them off this year. It could be a frustrating year if you're wanting to start completely fresh, because Aries is saying most of your growth, your opportunity, and your success comes from finishing what you've already started, following through with the ideas, the intentions that you've already made. It makes me think that your biggest opportunity are the setbacks, the false starts, and the cancelled plans, turning opportunities out of endings. Now, I also see Aries reversed as learning curves. It can hit us at moments where we feel naive, as though, we were really excited about something and then a lack of information led to a false start or a idea of kind of fizzling out. You have a lot of potential, and I think that your biggest opportunity is just to kind of continue doing what you've already started in 2025. It's going to be a frustrating year once again if you're trying to start completely brand new. I don't see you starting anything brand new and it actually finishing in 2025. It's like 2025 is about following on from where you've left off and pursuing what you've already started. Is there any clarity around what these main opportunities are? I'm hearing side hustles. So You guys may be working more than one job or running a business in tandem with a 9 to 5. We have 9 of Wands reversed. Yeah, it's really important that you don't give up too easily. This is another card that talks about redirection, because we want to make sure that our energy is being invested in efficient ways. When the 9 of Wands shows up reversed, it's telling us that there's a better way to do things. We need to work smarter, not harder. If we continue doing things the way that we were going to burn out. And so your biggest opportunity is learning how to redirect, learning how to have boundaries, when to pull back, and how to incorporate creative solutions for our problems. I'm seeing a lot of side hustles. I'm seeing more sort of planning and less effort. The devil is in the details when it comes to your lifestyle and when it comes to ticking boxes. You guys really need to be prepared, and you need to think about managing some of the existing challenges you have. When it comes to your lifestyle, you really need to scale back how much you're doing in the year ahead. Your biggest opportunity seems to be taking some time off to be able to focus on your health, to be able to focus on your energy levels, to be able to focus on your passions. I'm seeing you having a lot of free time throughout the year to be more creative and to really have a creative outlet where you can express yourself. And I'm also seeing more time to just kind of live with this 9 of Wands reversed. Aries is really here to say your biggest opportunity is to make something out of the setbacks. You may be starting this year feeling as though, like, I really wanted more out of this year, but I'm going to make something out of the fact that I couldn't do what I originally wanted to do. And this is overall to achieve that balance that we were noticing in the first part of this reading. Justice is here to say your biggest opportunity is to focus on bringing more harmony, more balance into your life, into your lifestyle, into your relationships. It feels like you guys will have more time with people who want more of your time. So that makes me think that there are people in your life who have been actively missing you, who have been actively wanting more of your energy. You guys may be trying to find ways to incorporate more of that time with those key figures. 9 of Wands reversed is also about rerouting your energy, your attention, your focus. Is there anything else they need to know about this before we move forward? The way your opportunity correlates to your challenge is that not everything needs to be completely structured. Being prepared and having a plan is also about allocating time efficiently, if that makes sense. It's not about being busy all the time. It's not about obsessing over the details. It's like once you have an idea of what it is that you need to do, you can have fun in between, right? You can enjoy the process as much as the outcome. So that seems to be the main focus here. I feel like I'm over explaining, so we're going to move forward. Very specific messages for this group. I apologize if it comes through very vague. To me, it feels like you don't need to overthink this year, if I'm completely honest. This year is not something that this group has to stress about. It's just about understanding how all of these themes are going to impact your journey. And it feels like the main focus is on how your self-development is impacting your vision for your life, because you guys are very like plan orientated, and it keeps coming through in every message one way or another. But you may miss the point a little bit this year. It's the journey, not just the outcome, which is such a cliche, especially in spirituality, but it's really the lesson of your 2025. So speaking of lessons, let's have a look at your advice, your encouragement from the universe, your main advice for the year ahead. 33 is all about prosperity. It's the number of expansion, growth, prosperity, and nurturing your goals. I can see that the year ahead is really trying to kind of show you what is possible. And your advice is to claim it. Step up and claim it. Believe that you can have what you deserve, and really be open to collaborating with the important people in your life in order to bring these things into fruition. There's a strong sense of community coming from this group and people really wanting more time. So this isn't just about energy vampires, wanting all your attention. This is about your community wanting to be involved in your process as you prepare for the prosperity that you desire. I think that the best thing that you can do to get that balance that we were talking about earlier is incorporate loved ones in the process. Delegate some jobs or some roles, bring them on for the journey. That way, you're working smarter, not harder. You're giving yourself a support team for when things don't go according to plan. And you're also ticking those sentimental boxes that we saw in the first part of your reading. You'll be surprised with how helpful some of the people in your life are. I think you have a lot more masculine energy around you than what you realize, but it's the nurturers that are going to be especially helpful at helping you understand and work through some of these challenges here when it comes to things needing to be adjusted or needing to be more flexible. What else can you tell my group threes about their 2025 when it comes to advice? Your advice is to set realistic goals, but tangible goals. 2025 is definitely a good year to consider prosperity and leveling up your material lifestyle. With the Ace of Pentacles here, there is a strong indication that a new financial opportunity is going to be pursued in the year ahead. And I think that this is career development. And I think that this is an opportunity for you to make money in a new way. It could be a side hustle initially, something that requires you to divide your time and attention between two different projects. But really, this is coming into fruition through action over time. So I stand by what I said. I don't think this is anything brand new. I think this is about grounding it in 2025. This is an idea that you've already had. 2025 is the year to bring it into fruition through action, through time, through effective resource management, so that by the end of the year, you can see some of that growth towards future success that you were hoping for. Outside of that, I also got the Six of Wands coming out reverse. This feels like it's in relation to your self-development. Not all that glitters is gold, okay? As important as this material development is, the Six of Wands reversed is encouraging you to really spend some quality time with the people around you. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Don't be afraid to reach out and check in on those around you. The Six of Wands always reminds me of the hero archetype in tarot, and this idea of the hero being well received. It's like this mutual exchange of energy between the hero and the village. The villagers feel safe because the hero's there. The hero feels like a hero because the villagers are praising him. So I do think that you guys need to make sure that you're enjoying the journey and really focusing on that balanced, even, energetic exchange between you and your villagers before you think about being a hero. What are you doing all of this for? Why are you fighting so hard? Why is any of this so important? You've got to kind of water the lawn before you cut the grass type of thing. I hope that's the right analogy to use. That is what I'm seeing for you on YouTube, my group threes. I'm going to take this into the extended reading now, where we will do a month-by-month breakdown of your 2025. I think that's going to be especially helpful for this group. We got a lot of themes for you. We got some predictions, but we got a lot of information about what you can expect. So your extended reading will help contextualize that information, telling us what you can expect for each month in 2025, January to December. It helps to kind of put it down into bite-sized pieces as well, so that all the information isn't just sitting there. If it sounds helpful, and if that sounds like something you may need or want, your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. I just felt a message come through about being entertaining. So I don't know if it's going to be entertaining, but it will definitely have the information categorized, which could be a little bit more easy to digest, knowing how these themes relate to each month of the year. As I said, that link is in the pinned comment and the description box below. That link will take you to my website, so please make sure you click on the right extended reading on that page. Remember your group 3 of the 2025 predictions reading that I posted in January 2025. Crazy that we're in this year already. It feels like a blur, but we're here. Now, sweet souls, before you go, wherever you're going, thank you so much for your energy, for your support, and for your time here on YouTube. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy in your journey ahead. Until our paths cross again. Bye. Hi group 4 and welcome to your reading. It is so lovely to have you all here. I am so excited to do your reading for you sweet souls. I've done all the other groups readings and extended readings, so I feel like you guys get the benefit of my energy being more aware of what could come out. Now, if you did skip the intro, I'm just going to cover what we're talking about in today's reading really quickly, and I'll give you a little bit of information about the extended reading as well. First of all, if you chose this slow and steady card, you're in the right place. You are my group 4s, and we're doing a 2025 predictions reading for you. We'll be having a look at your main themes for the year ahead, starting with this oracle card and then pulling tarot cards. I will be live shuffling for all of this, and then we'll have a look at what your main challenges will likely be, your main opportunities, and your main advice for the year ahead. In your extended reading, we're going to cover your month by month predictions. So YouTube looks at the whole year as an overall general sort of theme, focusing on your love and relationships, your career and finances, and your self-development. The extended readings on my website will have a look at those 3 key areas of your life: your love and relationships, your career and finances, and your self-development, but for each month, January to December. So if the first part of your reading does resonate and you want those additional messages, the link to your extended readings will be in the pinned comment and the description box below. With that spiel out of the way, let's tune into your energy, sweet souls. Make sure you have a notepad ready so that you are taking notes of what resonates. This is one of the biggest predictions that I do every year, and it's highly likely that the information will resonate a lot more as the year progresses. So let's talk about it. Spirit, please tune me into Group 4's energy. Please help me to offer Group 4 the most clear, honest messages about their 2025 year. Okay, so the thing is, with slow and steady here and the number 12, I feel like this year is definitely going to feel as though there's moments where it is crawling, it's slow, but that doesn't mean you're not making progress. I honestly think that out of all the groups, you guys may have the most stable year, even if there are, challenges or highs and lows, which is natural in life. I think that overall, you're the group that is going to experience the most balance. You're going to experience the most stability. And what that means is there could be moments where you feel a bit frustrated. You may feel like things aren't taking off because it's so stable, it's boring, right? Because we're so rooted in our way of doing things or in the current timeline that we're in through the actions that we're making. It could feel like at times life just isn't moving at all. There's benefits to this though. As boring as it may be at times, you're also not living your most chaotic year ever. 2025 is about the year of slowly making changes, slowly making progress. And usually when this happens, it's because a lot of the changes are being made within us. with the number 12 here, there could be a lot of reflection, a lot of daydreaming, a lot of opportunity for you to just sort of hang back, sit still, and look at the bigger picture. You may find yourself observing other people's train wrecks and chaos and challenges. And there will be moments where you can genuinely empathize and go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I'm so sorry for your loss, or I'm so sorry that you're in this challenging situation. But you'll also be able to learn vicariously through those around you without having to fully take on that challenging experience, if that makes sense. So you guys are having the opportunity. It reminds me of when you babysit. You get to experience what it's like to look after a child, but then you can always give that child right back. And that's what it feels like when it comes to the challenges in 2025. You're vicariously looking at other people's challenges and struggles, observing the wisdom in the situation, learning the lesson, but then giving that challenge right back and going, this is your job now. Like, it's not my, I'm here as a supportive friend, as your family member, as your lover, but this is on you. Like, you've got this. This is where I remove myself because it's not my journey. So there's benefits to it, is what I'm saying. Now, when it comes to progress, the slow and steady card is hinting that you may not get any fast results in 2025. 2025 may not be the time to, expect things to really take off and to expand at a fast pace, but you can expect to see things tracking in the right direction. So that's kind of where we probably see the cons, because if your expectations are to achieve significant personal goals in 2025, most of your success comes from within, comes from the insights, the wisdoms, and the lessons that you gain through your experiences. But you're not going to see tangible results in 2025. And I've got to be careful how I say that, because it's not that you won't see any progress. It's just that it's not going to be as drastic as you may have hoped for. Now, to expand on this theme and to really give this deck the, props that it deserves, I'm going to read messages from the guidebook so that we can really get everything out of this card and this deck. Colleen Barron Reed is the creator of this Enchanted Map Oracle deck. And for the number 12, she's written, slow and steady wins the race. Remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race. This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. Sorry, y'all. I'm wearing my reading glasses for the first time in a long time, and my eyes are just still adjusting. So I was like jumping ahead. So this is interesting. It kind of covers everything that I say. So I just want to pull out some themes from the reverse portion as well. Moving too quickly will only yield unripe fruit with a bitter taste. Slow down, breathe, meditate. You're not a human doing, you're a human being. Just be. All fruits ripen in their own time. Very powerful. Let's pull some tarot now to see what else we can uncover. I actually want to use this deck for you. I don't remember what this deck is. Hang on. What are you? I think the box is in the other room. What are you? I think this is the Lumia tarot deck. Could be wrong though. I got it from Tarot Stack. I have an affiliate link in the description box if you're interested in finding out what this deck is. And that is an affiliate link, so if you do purchase anything from that link, I do get a 10% commission, just letting you know. So, Spirit, for my... Ooh, all right. That card came out, but we haven't set the intention yet. For my group 4s, what can they expect in the year of 2025? Okay. We have the 7 of Wands. What can they expect in the year of 2025? We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a bigger tarot deck, so the cards may not fit in the frame, but I'll readjust the camera soon. We have the 10 of Wands reversed. can they expect? What can they expect, Spirit? What can group 4 expect? Okay. We also have the 5 of Swords, and at the back of the deck is the Knight of Swords. Let me readjust. Is that better? Kind of. Okay. So, I just need to wipe my nose. We've hit that point where my nose is leaking. It usually happens when I channel. And you're the first reading that I'm doing for the day, so it's usually always leaking when I channel. Okay. The first things I'm noticing is that your Jupiter placements are especially significant this year. Your Jupiter placements include your, if you have any Sagittarius or Pisces signs in your chart, pay attention to the planets, pay attention to their specific aspect patterns as well. So in your natal chart, the placements in your chart interact through aspect patterns. If your Sagittarius and Pisces signs are impacted by planets in specific placements with aspect patterns that either conflict or work together in a trine, then you may notice, though there may be things that you need to look out for if it's a challenge, but I'm seeing good fortune, sweet soul. I'm seeing positive things because of that. I really feel as though this Wheel of Fortune is highlighting that slow and steady does win the race for you. You've just got to really take control of your expectations so that you're not getting too bored and disinterested in how slowly things are happening. You are being guided to the highest possible outcome, and this timing is divinely guided. It's happening slowly for your best interest. It's happening slowly so that you can achieve the most abundant outcome. Being patient with the progress is going to give you the results that you deserve. So overall, I'm seeing a lot of good fortune. I can see significant shifts in your mindset that are making you more abundant in your lifestyle. Now, the way that this seems is that your mind is open to experiencing things, and this openness is attracting experiences that could have you living a very different lifestyle in the next 2 years. You could be moving overseas, doing more overseas travel with the Wheel of Fortune. You could also be considering upgrading your lifestyle to do something quite spontaneous, quite different, but quite in line with your spiritual beliefs and who you are at your core. You feel a little offbeat to me. You may at times struggle to feel like you connect to the people around you, but I do feel like as long as you're honoring your own expansion, and as long as you're honoring your own desires in terms of what makes you passionate about life, you will always find a community of people around you. So I do think that some of your interests are going to help facilitate new friendships. If you resonate as being at an awkward kind of turning point in your life where you're trying to pick up new interests and you're trying to really rediscover your identity through your outlets, through your creative expression, through your hobbies, you are going to make some really meaningful connections this year. And it feels plural. It feels like more than one person. It feels like some of these will be fleeting friendships where, you know, you're given people who are simply there for a short time to be supportive and kind and present, especially if you do travel quite a lot. This could be somebody who's stationed at the hostel that you're visiting, or who's a local guide in the city that you've always wanted to travel to. And you know that that connection is fleeting, right? As soon as you leave, you're leaving them. But for when you're in their presence, you feel safe, you feel free to be who you want to be, and you feel as though, you know, the people around me are all here for a common purpose. So there's beautiful moments like that throughout 2025. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune, there's also significant upgrades to your lifestyle through monetary means, whether it's because you're adjusting the way you spend your money significantly, which means that your expenses are shifting to allow for an income, your income to be evenly distributed in different ways. That's the first example, right? Is that you change the way you spend your money. Therefore, the overall balance that you have to work with each month feels more abundant, because instead of putting all your money towards this, you have decided, I don't want to do that anymore, and you're saving money to be able to spend it in different ways. That's one of the major shifts. You don't have to, change what you're doing for work or to gain income. You don't have to make changes there, but you're changing the way you spend it. That's the first significant example. Otherwise, this is a shift to how you make money. You guys could be working more freelance. There is flexibility here in your income, and there is flexibility here in how you spend it. You may be reducing the amount of responsibilities you have financially to ensure that you have more freedom with your assets so that you can leverage them and use them for whatever interest or passion project you have close to your heart in 2025. We can also see that over here with the 10 of Wands. That's how these cards kind of correlate. On this side, we have a theme of reduction. We are recognizing that our capacity is limited in 2025. We have our responsibilities that we're working on. People around us are going through things. The world is going through things, but we're responsible for us. And when it comes to us, we're being very careful about what we take on board. We're reducing the amount of responsibilities we have, and we're delegating to other people. Instead of being too empathetic, too, considerate of other people and what they're going through, we're going, no, I'm sorry, but that's your responsibility. I'm actually busy, I can't do that. And remember, no is a full sentence as well. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, would you be able to do this? You can say, no, sorry. Or you could just say no. It depends on what feels right for you, but no is a full sentence. These cards are also talking about choosing you in ways that feel at times uncomfortable. The Five of Swords can be a card of social awkwardness because we're kind of between a rock and a hard place. There could be social expectations within the workplace, within a platonic connection, or within a family connection, in which you're expected, it's like an unwritten rule for you to go above and beyond. People could be so accustomed to these unwritten social expectations that when you say no, you feel like you're betraying them. You feel like you're betraying your bond to them, and you feel like you're betraying the cultural practice. But with the Five of Swords upright, it has to be said. These two cards are indicating that you're actually not doing anything wrong. People will get offended, but that's on them to figure that out. In hindsight, there is an appreciation here for how you've recognized that there's only so much that you can do. And instead of other people getting angry at you, they need to reassess, well, what am I doing? Why can't I cope with the amount of things that I need to do? How can I do what Group 4's doing and say no more? So you're kind of leading by example here by choosing you and making sure that you're not succumbing to peer pressure or to cultural or social expectations that are unreasonable. The Five of Swords can also discuss a disagreement. You may be making choices in 2025 that affect other people, and they could be expecting you or telling you to do something a certain way, and you turn around and you go, no. First of all, I'm not comfortable doing that. Second of all, it's not my responsibility to do that. And you come down really hard, you draw a line in the sand and you go, this is my boundary, in a way that other people are having a hard time processing. It feels stubborn, it feels abrupt, abrasive, but from your perspective, sweet soul, and even like reading through your eyes, This is right for you. It is actually going to be a very important part of your journey in 2025 to be able to draw that line in the sand. And you have to do this consistently, can I add? Because for whatever reason, the environments that you're in will constantly be challenging you and testing you to see, hey, have you changed? Have you changed your mind? Have you changed your ethics? Have you changed your morals? Would you consider doing this? And you have to go no. And I've already told you, no. The answer is still no. Now over here, this is why we're reducing. This is why the theme of reduction and boundaries is so important. Because when we bounce back to the left, we can see with the Seven of Wands that you have goals that you're trying to overcome. You have your own struggles, your own challenges that you're trying to overcome. The Seven of Wands says that at times in 2025, you will feel like an underdog because of the direction that you're steering your life in versus the present moment that you're having to work with. You feel like an underdog. Your aspirations feel so far out of reach, but that doesn't mean that you won't make progress. In 2025, you will overcome every adversity and challenge put in front of you, because even though it feels like a lot at the time, your instincts, your application of healthy boundaries, and your zest for life is really going to get you through any of these challenges and any of this adversity. You're only given as much as you can handle. And when it is meant for you, it will always find you. The Seven of Wands is an encouragement card, encouraging you to have those healthy boundaries and to do what you can to keep this fire lit within you with the Wheel of Fortune. Continue to say yes to experiences that feel right for you, for your soul. You're definitely on a bit of a spiritual journey in 2025. If you're here, you're probably a bit open, I would think, to spirituality. But you definitely seem to be trying to kind of expand your consciousness, expand your opportunities, and ultimately just crave experience. There's this interesting feeling here of you just wanting to know more through your lens about the world around you. So you're very likely to spend a lot of free time engaged in your passionate interests and hobbies. Now, your bottom deck energy was the Knight of Swords. So what I can say is, overarching, despite the slow and steady message, it's your actions that seem to be the highlights and I just want to say the highlights of 2025. As the year progresses, the only thing you're going to regret is the moments that you didn't try to do something. That's the only regrets you will have. You'll think back and you'll go, oof, I had a wonderful year, but I really wish I would have done this. I really wish I would have just, powered ahead and made room for that. And you may already be in that kind of mind frame, because I see that you start the year and you end the year being very proactive, almost impulsive, really wanting to take action as soon as an opportunity presents. You have this hasty, hungry energy, as though you just don't want to let it slip between your fingers. And it could be because in between, things feel really slow and stagnant. So when you do have the opportunity to jump, you're going to jump almost immediately. Specific predictions I can see outside of significant changes to your internal world, which will eventually impact your external world, include, with the Seven of Wands, you being in a situation where you're having to stand up for yourself and where you're having to fight against other people's expectations. It could feel like you're having to explain yourself a little bit. It could also feel like you're having to seek your new sort of family, your new friend groups, people who have similar interests to you, so that you're not always feeling so different, like an oddball. The Ten of Wands, you're going to be learning how to say no more. You're going to be having more boundaries. You're going to remember that you're only human. So this is a capacity reminder. Throughout the year, you're going to be served reminders of why it is important to say no, because there's only so much you can do with the Ten of Wands. And with the Five of Swords, there will be situations in which Saying no puts you between a rock and a hard place. Your social obligations feel a bit unfair, to say the least. And you may be painted as a villain when really you're teaching everyone around you how important it is to stand up for yourself and to say no. So let's have a look at what your main challenges, your main opportunities, and your main advice will be now. I'm going to take this card out of the way for now. We're going to use the Celestial Bodies Oracle deck, also from Tarot Stack. Spirit, for my group fours, what is their main challenge for 2025? The main challenge, we have the 10th house. What are their main opportunities? Your main opportunity is Saturn return. Wow. I pulled these cards for myself not too long ago. What is their main advice, please, Spirit? I didn't set the intention yet. We're going to shuffle again. What is their main advice, please, Spirit? Okay, there we go. We have Aquarius. Okay. I'm going to clarify these cards with tarot as well. So this is a very, well, I know I say this a lot. I listen back to my readings and I'm like, girl, how many times do you say this is interesting? And I don't know if it is, to be honest with you. It's kind of a reflex to say that at this stage, but I think this is interesting. What we can see here with your cards is a lot of responsibility, a lot of karma, and a lot of karmic justice. You have a strong connection to Saturn that is actually going to pay off in the long run. And that makes a lot of sense with Slow and Steady. All these cards relate to Saturn in their own unique ways. Their correlation to that planet is very nuanced. I just want to say, like, it's not the same. We won't just be talking about the same thing for each of these cards and their placements. But I think it would be beneficial for you to do your own research into the planet Saturn, how it influences our natal charts, and where it sits in your unique natal chart as well. So let's have a look at your challenges first and foremost. 10th house. The 10th house's energy as a challenge can feel like it's our commitments, it's our career, it's our responsibilities, and it's the things that we've actively signed up for that are challenging us. And we know that from tarot as well. So I don't think that we need to really drum this into you. I think you guys are just going to be feeling that from the beginning of the year. And you spend most of the year trying to get into that reduction energy where you're being more careful about what you sign up for, you're being more mindful about how many responsibilities you're juggling, and you're being more aware of your capacity. This is your overall challenge for 2025. Let's pull a tarot card to see if there's anything that I'm missing. For my group fours, is there any other information they may need about their main challenges in 2025? Okay, we have the Three of Swords. So the way that this is presenting is that there's going to be at least one instance in the year ahead where you need to have a very open, honest, and difficult conversation with somebody in your life about the direction you want your life to head towards. The reason why this is difficult is because you made a commitment to this person. They may have made a commitment to you, and you're discussing how that commitment doesn't seem to align with your shared future. You're noticing how you're growing apart from this person or this organization, and this conversation is about saying, hey, I need to choose a path that aligns with where I'm going, with my true north, and with the direction that I'm heading in. So this does feel like a breakup. It doesn't seem to be a relationship unless you've made a very serious commitment to this person, unless you've implied, that there will be marriage and decades of a future together. This more than likely is your career. It's you going to your employer or to your clients if you are self-employed and saying, hey, I'm switching directions. I've decided that I've had a wonderful time, I've gained a lot of experience, but I have a new purpose in life now, and this is not how I want to make my money. This is not the kind of legacy that I want to leave behind. I need more. So that's the biggest challenge. That's the biggest aspect of that challenge. And honestly, by the time this conversation is had, you're going to be very well rehearsed. It feels like it flows off the dome. Even if you have something prepared, written down, or if you've practiced a little speech, it's from your heart, it's honest, it's to the point, and it's also very sympathetic. There's no bad blood in this situation, even if it feels like a huge relief, a huge unburdening. You're able to have this conversation amicably. So it doesn't feel that bad once you have it. But that's what I'm seeing with your main challenge. I can also see a period after this in which you just want to lay low. You just want to stay out of the public eye, not have to answer to too many people, and keep to yourself for a little while, which is where we probably see that hiatus of the Wheel of Fortune. You may take some time off to throw yourself into an interest or a hobby that really helps you feel like you're breathing fresh air again. We have your main opportunities next, and the way that this ties in is you guys may feel quite accomplished, successful, and stable enough to be able to reap the benefits of your hard work. 2025 could be the year that many of you retire. It could also be the year that many of you are really just reaping the rewards of how resilient, perseverant, and hardworking you've been. Whether you've been under the pump and under pressure for years, decades, or it's just been a rough couple of months. There's a significant opportunity in 2025 to be able to appreciate what your hard work has presented you. Saturn return can feel like a glow up. It can feel like we are finally able to take a step back and look in the mirror and go, wow, I was so busy working hard, dealing with karma and, handling my responsibilities, my priorities, that I didn't get the chance to see how much it has positively impacted the way that I can live. You have more room to breathe, to enjoy, and to really celebrate your achievements. But it's going to be hard for you to slow down. For Saturn return to be here, it means that you've been working really hard for such a long time. You may not know what it means to slow down. And there could even be moments in which your mood is impacted by the amount of free time you do have, by the amount of slow time you do have. This kind of makes me think of your card again. Slow and steady wins the race. You may be noticing other people going through the karmic cycles that you went through. And you may feel like on one hand you want to help, but on the other hand you know that they will be able to achieve more if you just let them go through it on their own. Spirit, what else do they need to know about this main opportunity? What else do my group 4s need to know about this main? Okay. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay. So, at the back of the deck is the 7 of Swords. Not everybody needs to know your business. Most of your successful moments, your milestones, and your opportunities to feel successful in 2025 are going to happen behind closed doors. You're limiting the amount of access the general public has to you. And you're being very careful, almost like you're making your moves in complete secrecy. The 8 of Wands reverse tells me that there are going to be a lot of moments where you're slowing down. But these moments with the Eight of Wands reversed are more of a reflection of being more careful about how you give and receive energy. This is an opportunity because you haven't lost any passion. You still harbor a great sense of, like, you're a hard worker. You have a lot to give, but you're just not giving it to everybody. And it's interesting for it to show up with the Eight of Wands reversed because it means that you know what hard work and the benefits of hard work are. It's kind of like in a world where instant gratification is so popular, right? It's so much, like there's just so much of it around us. We're so used to being able to have everything at our fingertips. Your opportunity is to learn why the slow way is the best way. And it's such a personal experience for you. It is such a, like you're going to almost feel that it's lonely at times, but it's kind of the soft life that you deserve. You may resonate as someone that's had a really rough upbringing and a really rough start to adulthood. So 2025 is the soft life that you deserve, and it is a slower life, but it feels so gratifying. It feels so like you just need to be able to wake up in the morning and not have to rush, not have to feel like you're needing to meet deadlines before you've even left the house. This is an opportunity to just slow down, to not have to rush, to not have to worry about meeting so many obligations and expectations, and just taking things in your stride at your own pace, at your natural pace. It's going to be a bit hard for some of you because you don't really know how to slow down, but you're going to finish the year feeling like, wow, I'm really grateful that that happened. I can see now why that crazy hermit lady said this was going to be an opportunity, not a challenge. And then lastly, your advice. We have the Aquarius card here. And Aquarius has a strong connection to Saturn as well as Uranus. So it kind of brings some refreshing news. Overall, as long as you're taking care of yourself, as long as you're giving yourself the freedom to think differently and to be your most authentic version of yourself without feeling the restraints of society, of friendship, and of those around you, your peers, your co-workers, your family, as long as you're really sitting in your true nature, your true spirit, before you make important decisions, you'll be on the most successful path of your life. You guys have a beautiful year ahead of you in which you are living your most authentic version. You're on track to your highest possible outcome, and you will gain experiences in this year that truly show you that confirm that you are on the path to your highest possible outcome. Aquarius serves as a reminder of why it is important to be authentic, even if you go against the grain, even if it makes you weird and an oddball. It means that at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, you go to sleep knowing you've done yourself all the justice that you deserve. You've lived life to its fullest within the scope of your engineering, your organic engineering. It's really important this year that you feel like you're honoring who you are in every step of your journey. Some practical advice is to think outside the box more. Really don't be afraid of making dynamic changes, even if it takes time. Is there anything else they need to know in terms of their main advice? Okay, we'll take the card that fell on the ground. When it comes to your mental health, your sense of self, and your sense of purpose, don't overcomplicate it. Sometimes when we look for problems are all we find. So Spirit is almost saying that the best way that you can be happy in 2025 is by focusing on what does make you happy, not what's making you unhappy. Very interesting, but don't overcomplicate your opportunities to experience joy. It reminds me of with mental health and how labeling things can sometimes make them more serious than they are. This is an opinion, it's not a fact. But there's an opinion that if you give a disorder or a condition a name, it makes it scarier. Its impact on us psychologically creates barriers, creates blocks, creates anxiety, and has negative side effects to our well-being, versus us simply looking for ways to improve. Other people like to deal with facts, like to know so that they can then find solutions. But Spirit is encouraging you to keep seeking solutions. Don't overcomplicate joy. That takes the joy out of it. Seek joy. It's as simple as that. Do the things that make you happy. Stay connected to your inner child. It's likely that what you enjoyed doing when you were younger is still what you enjoy doing now. And create those moments to enjoy that. That's really all I have for you, sweet souls. If I keep going, I'm taking the point out of the message. So that's what I'm seeing for you in 2025. I'm going to end your YouTube reading here, and I'm going to take your reading into the extended, where we will look at a month-by-month breakdown. If you would like to join me in the extended reading, as I've mentioned previously, the link to the extended readings is in the description box and the pinned comment. Click on that link and it will take you to a page on my website where I host my readings. So make sure you click on the right group. Remember your group 4 of my 2020. There's too many 20s. 2025 predictions reading. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you, sweet souls. My mouth is stumbling, so it's time for me to retire. As we part ways, I wish you peace, joy, happiness, abundance, health, wealth, success, and prosperity on your journey ahead. Look after your beautiful selves. Thank you for your support. Thank you for this energy exchange. Bye.